Hey friends, welcome to Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. All right, I'm trying something, going out on a limb here, and I want to. This will be a two-parter about how the Russia-Ukraine conflict affects money, how it's affecting our money, and what I think it's leading to. Today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. The idea is simple. Every day, Monday through Friday, I go live for about 10 minutes. I want to help you to look good, feel good, and smell good. In the process, I reveal the hidden secrets of the universe at no extra charge. You're welcome. My friends are watching right now, behind the scenes, exclusive behind the scenes, Instagram at Safe New Media on Instagram. I'm the founder of Safe New Media. Promise all your wildest dreams will come true if you enter my vortex. Find out about my new album. It's at safenewmedia.com/surplus. Okay, more on that later. All right, I'm going out on a limb today. And my objective is to express observations on Russia's attack on the Ukraine and how it affects the world economy. Okay, this is not to predict the outcome or pretend to be an expert on geopolitical macroeconomic events. There's more information than that I don't know than there is what that I will ever know. But I'm trying to make sense of the situation. So, what I'd like to make a case for is that we would be wise to recognize that this is a turning point for the balance of power, possibly for the status of the US dollar. Now, hear me out. And leave a comment. Let me know if you disagree or if I'm totally off, because I'm gonna miss something. This is just how I see it, and this is just me trying to make sense of the world. But I want to explore first order consequences of sanctions and second order consequences. All right. Considering recent events and considering externalities and what I think, what it looks like might happen, where it looks like things are headed. All right. So, starting with this, the cost for a gallon of gas in the United States, it's reaching all-time highs now. The national average, this is just for example where we're at. Okay, you guys know this. But the average jumped nearly 7 cents this morning. Today's Thursday, March 10th, 2022. All-time highs. The nationwide average for regular gas is now $4.32 a gallon. Okay, according to the AAA. And yesterday the cost was $4.25. So once again, eclipsing the previous all-time record of $4.11. The sun's in my face, bothering me. Sorry. I'm in an undisclosed location in a beautiful area, and the sun is always shining on me. But that's not important right now. What's important is inflation. That's what I'm talking about right now. Okay. The all-time record was $4.11, set in July 2008. When adjusted for inflation, that would be around $5.25 today. All right, I'm going over a lot of things to put it in perspective to make a case. So diesel prices are almost at record highs. The average cost is $5.06 a gallon. It's up nearly 18 cents from Wednesday's average of $4.88. Okay, this is the first time diesel has ever been over $5. Before this week, the previous record of $4.84 was also in July 2008. Remember 2008? Yeah, those were fun times. Okay, in today's dollars, that would be $6.19 because of inflation. All right, so inflation has a lot to do with where I'm headed. Okay, with what I want, with the point that I'm making here. Okay, but this is novel. The last thing that I believe is taking us here is the invention of Bitcoin in 2008, right around the economic crash of 2008. I think this is a novel invention. This is so significant. I believe that the possibility of digital money, which bypasses the need for a central bank, solving the problem of double spending via peer-to-peer network without a single point of failure, marked the beginning of the end of fiat currencies as the only choice. Okay, now I have a lot to cover. I don't know if I can even cover all of these ideas in just 2 episodes, but I'm going to run this by you guys. Okay, so Bitcoin was a novel invention that changed everything. So the Biden administration has issued an executive order examining how the United States will utilize cryptocurrencies going forward. That's bullish on crypto in the United States. That's a good thing. Now, so I'm going to cover, before I end today's episode, part 1, I'm going to cover just a recap of the invasion of Russia, the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, and the first order consequences and the second order consequences. So you'll kind of get the perspective where I'm going with this, making this case that this is a turning point for the US dollar. And with keeping in, like, inflation is like the biggest signal. And I'm going to end with where I think this is going. So Russia invades the Ukraine. So that was Wednesday, February 23rd. Russian President Putin ordered a special military operation in eastern Ukraine. Explosions were reported in Kiev and other parts of the country. All right. Biden imposed severe sanctions on Russia in support of Ukraine. This was an unprovoked, unjustified attack by Russian military forces. So Russia is the largest exporter of natural gas and the second largest exporter of oil in the world. The EU is completely dependent on Russia for all its oil and natural gas imports. 1/3 of EU 28 supply of oil and gas comes from Russia. About 8% of US imports of oil and refined products, or about 672,000 barrels a day, came from Russia last year. That source is from the EIA. Okay, of that, Russia's crude made up roughly 3% of the nation's imports, about 200,000 barrels a day. So, first order consequences of these sanctions imposed on Russia, okay, this was led by the United States, intended to hurt Putin while mitigating costs to the US. This this has actually been implemented since 2014 when during the invasion of Crimea, that allowed US officials to determine how to use sanctions in a manner that could be escalated and de-escalated as the situation evolved. So they wanted to restrict foreign capital. That leads to a decline in the currency, increase in borrowing costs, that pressures the creditworthiness of Russian state-backed institutions. So Russia's foreign currency assets have been seized. And once neutral Switzerland has Switzerland, they're usually neutral. Switzerland imposed sanctions, freezing Putin's assets. I know this is a lot of information. Okay, but follow. Keep going. Yeah. Okay, so we're up to date on that, right? Visa and MasterCard have blocked Russian banks from their networks. For the first time, Russian banks have been removed from the SWIFT payment system. Coinbase has cut off Russia from transacting in cryptocurrencies on their exchange. That's new. Okay, now the second order consequences. And I'll wrap this up in just a few minutes, and I'm going a little bit longer than I usually do. I'm diving deep. I just want to see if you guys follow me. Do you agree? Am I wrong about anything? Let me know. Leave a comment. So it's possible that Putin miscalculated the effectiveness of U.S. sanctions and the willingness of its allies to support them. All right, but Russia was not entirely unprepared for this. All right. Apparently, Russia has engaged in various de-dollarization efforts, which are strongly centered around cooperation with China. So what do we see happening? This puts China in kind of an awkward position. My battery might go out for my friends on Instagram. By the way, I am filming behind the scenes on Instagram, exclusively on Instagram, behind the scenes. Let's be friends on Twitter. Come on, let's be friends on Twitter, everybody. Let's be friends on Twitter. Also, I started a Telegram channel. I invite you guys to connect with me on this Telegram channel. There's a link in the description if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. And by the way, if you're watching on LinkedIn and you are interested in this, if you do have a business that would benefit from getting double your ideal customers in half the time, there's a link in the description right at the top. Let me know what you're working on, and I'd like to help you. Can't help everybody, but if you would benefit from double your ideal customers in half the time, that's what that link is there, and is for there if you're watching on LinkedIn. Okay, so this is interesting. So Russia and China. So first, Russia has developed its own domestic alternative to SWIFT because Russia is now banned from the SWIFT system. Okay, but Russia has developed its own domestic alternative to SWIFT. known as the Transfer of Financial Messages, SPFS. Now, it's possible that the SPFS could become integrated with China's nascent yet much larger payment system, the cross-border interbank payment system. So that's China's payment system, CIPS. Now, secondly, Russia has prioritized use of Chinese renminbi. Renminbi, did I say that right? I try my best. For international trade and payment purposes. So Russia's using, I'll say RMB for short. Russia has been stockpiling foreign services since the invasion of 2014 due to sanctions. And Russia's central bank is unable to tap into its reserves held in USD or EU currencies. But get this, they're transacting in RMB equivalent to 77 billion. Now, also, Russia has a cross-currency swap agreement with China, which allows exchange of currencies at a fixed interest rate allocated for the purpose of supporting bilateral trade and direct investment between the two countries. So there is kind of a financial alliance with China, but it's a very delicate situation because by Beijing's purchase of more Russian energy and the increased use of the Chinese renminbi, I'm trying to get, trying to be smart. I'm just trying not to be dumb, but I want to explore this because I think it's interesting. But China may have to decline to integrate with SPFS. They might decline this whole possible plan of integrating SPFS with CIPS, the Russian payment messaging system, and the Chinese system, for fear that similar sanctions could be turned on them. Now, this scenario ultimately may de-incentivize China to deal in USD as world powers are shifting. This is where I'm getting at. What if countries decline using US dollars as the reserve currency of the world? Okay, I'm going to wrap it up in a minute, but I want to just mention the World Economic Forum, for example. Worst case scenario. So sanctions on Russia may have unintended consequences for the U.S. Because listen, for decades, virtually all oil and natural gas around the world has been bought and sold for U.S. dollars. If Russia starts trading a lot of oil and natural gas for currencies other than the U.S. dollar, that will be a massive blow for the petrodollar, and it could end up dramatically changing the global economic landscape. So the World Economic Forum predicted that we may not be able to prevent food protectionism from becoming the post-pandemic new normal. Now, I know that's extreme, but what if, because Russia and China both are huge exporters of the world's grains, and they're not allowed, like Russia is not exporting. I honestly don't know like how much food exports they're still doing. But what if Russia and China decide not to? What if they hold on? What if they hoard their exports? I don't know. That would hurt them financially, but is it possible? Is that something that could happen? So inflation was reported to be 7.5%. Today, inflation was announced to be 7.9%, and that does not account for the subsequent spike in gas prices. So this 7.9% comes from data that is before that was accumulated before accounted for before the subsequent spike in gas prices. You know what I mean? So it's higher. All right. So just to wrap this up, history may not repeat itself, but it often rhymes. In other words, times ahead may be radically different from those we've experienced in our lifetime, but similar to those that have happened many times before. That uh, that phrase, not history may repeat itself, but often rhymes. That's idiom. But I've been I'm a fan of Ray Dalio, and he has a book, and he's very well versed in what's happening in the what's happening with the world economy. So that's where I get a lot of my references from. Just so you know, shout out to Ray Dalio. Now, so I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna end it there. But the next episode tomorrow, I want to talk about the monetary system of Bretton Woods, revised for the new parallel crypto economy, and that's when we're going to get into the CBDC, central bank digital currencies. All right, spoiler alert. That's where I think this is headed. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys watching. Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media, Unconventional, diversified global digital media company devoted to the practice, administration, and dissemination of the ideologies of its founder, yours truly. It's definitely not a cult. Follow me on Spotify for my music. Listen to my new album, Surplus. Check it out at safenewmedia.com/surplus. I appreciate you guys. Lastly, if I do, this is not financial advice, but if you don't have Bitcoin yet, now's a good time. And Cash App is the easy way to do it. I have a link with a code, so we'll each get $5. Also, Strike. I love Strike. You'll get $10 that you can turn into Bitcoin. There's a referral code. There's a link if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. So smash that subscribe button, pummel that subscribe button into submission. Leave a comment. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if I'm totally getting something wrong, or if you have some input for me. I appreciate you guys. I have spoken.